Hello everybody, my name is Mary Fogelman. I am an avid rock climber and adventure seeker, but I was not always comfortable with the thought of being 50 feet in the air with nothing holding me up except for my strength and a rope the width of my thumb. Everybody fears something, whether you fear heights, clowns, or even public speaking. You should know that you are not alone in your fear. We all have fears, but we should work to harness those fears and use them for our good rather than let them control us. Today, I will share with you 2 examples of fears that were overcome, whether to present that there was nothing to fear in the first place, or that overcoming fear can lead to far greater opportunities in life. The first example is from the Aesop fable, The Camel and the Floating Driftwood. As retold by the website Aesop Fables, retrieved on January 28th, the story goes as follows. The first man to ever see a camel ran away in fear. The second person came closer, and the third was comfortable enough to make a halter for it. Similarly, there were a few guards that were sent out to keep watch one night, when they suddenly saw something on the water. They were scared to death because they thought it was an enemy ship. As it floated closer, though, they realized that it was only a piece of driftwood and that there was nothing to be afraid of. My story is very similar. A few years ago, I went to summer camp where I was excited to participate in activities including canoeing, swimming, archery, riflery, and yes, climbing. I went to my first climbing class just bursting with excitement. I was not afraid, I was just excited to climb. That was until I got halfway up the wall. When I got to the halfway point on the easiest wall, I began to panic. My legs began to visibly shake like this, which I later found out is called Elvis leg, which did not help at all with my embarrassment. And I was humiliated by the fact that it was so hard for me. I could not find the courage to keep climbing. I did know, however, that I would much rather reach the top, no matter how scared I was, than go back down and sit by myself in pure defeat. So I did what any stubborn person does in the face of fear. I kept moving forward, or in this case, up. When I finally reached the top of the wall, the only thing I could feel was a gigantic sense of accomplishment. I then walked straight over to the hardest wall in the gym and declared that I wanted to climb that one. By the end of camp, I completed every single wall in the gym, and I went home having fallen in love with the sport. Although the people in the story had no reason to fear the camel or the driftwood, they did until they realized they didn't have to. I, on the other hand, had a reason to fear falling 30 feet, but the fear of failure outweighed the fear of getting hurt. To summarize, all of us have fears, whether big or small, whether real threats or exaggerated illusions of a threat, but we must learn to face our fears in order to find a better outcome than cowardice. Before I close, I want to leave you all with a famous quote by the late Nelson Mandela. Quote, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." Thank you.